Well, guess what? It's been another no good, very bad week for Democrats. They really do it to themselves, don't they? Like this repeated lie that the Democrat funding bill doesn't look to provide health care for illegals. We've talked about this. Like each and every one of them got their marching orders, and every one of them is repeating the same lie, hoping anyone will finally believe it. Well, Pocahontas just ain't having it when CBS points out the obvious.
You know, Republicans say what you're really fighting for is taxpayer dollars for, as they put it, illegal aliens. I know that's not strictly true, but there is a provision.
Excuse me, not strictly true.
It's not true directly, but
flat-out lie. It is a flat-out lie.
The way that they frame it.
There is nothing in Medicare that permits one undocumented immigrant to get $1 of assistance.
Senator, if you let me finish the question.
Of course,
Senator,
I'm sorry.
Sorry, in the Democratic counteroffer, the proposal for funding, there is a restoration of Medicaid benefits for certain non-citizens that it had been taken away in the big, beautiful bill, as the Republicans put it. Republicans don't think those people should be getting health care on the taxpayer dime. I'm not asking on the merits. Politically, putting that in there exposes you to this talking point, this lie, as you put it. Why put it in there? Why is it worth it?
No, what's happened is that what we're saying is that whenever hospitals give care, what is going to be the level of reimbursement?
Well, that's a complete lie, because here's what happened. Joe Biden, when he left, he gave amnesty to 12 or 15 million illegals, allowing them to get health care. That's the whole point. And that really is the essence of the shutdown. They're just completely, it's called gaslighting. You say it a bunch of times, if everyone says it, eventually maybe the people believe it. But it's all a lie. If it wasn't in there, government wouldn't be shut down. Well, Mr. Sombrero is absolutely positive that President Trump and the Republicans will cave to him and the Democrats on the shutdown. Wait till you hear this one.
Dynamic. And given the way that the president has been tweeting memes about you, has been, in your words and the words of Democrats, already dismantling healthcare, what makes you think that he will negotiate anything? What makes you think that he and Republicans will cave to you?
Public sentiment. At the end of the day, the public knows that Donald Trump and Republicans have shut the federal government down, and that they're continuing to engage in the chaos and the cruelty and the corruption that we've seen from this administration from day one.
You got the House, you got the Senate, you got the White House. Republicans, stick it to them. Stick it to them. They don't have game. They got nothing. They just want to blame Republicans, and it's not the Republicans' fault. Get off this kick of providing free health care for illegals. You get a deal done. Meanwhile, one of the most unqualified members of Congress, our friend Jasmine Crockett, wants you to know that no matter what, she's still getting paid while her party continues to fight for illegals above American citizens.
So as I've been telling people, your payment is on layaway. Yeah, that's basically what that is. Now, that is for those people that are deemed essential. You have a number of people in the federal government that are not deemed essential. So if someone's not deemed essential, then they're sitting at home waiting to get called back to work. And even if they're sitting at home, they are not allowed to go out and get another job. Yeah, they make you be broke until they get their stuff together. And to be clear, members of Congress, we still get paid. I just want to put that out there because I like to be fully transparent.
Of course you still get paid. You're the swamp. You're swamp creatures. You're the lowest dregs of the earth. Of course you're going to pay yourself. You walk into Congress with nothing. You walk out with $5 million a couple of years later with $175,000 a year salary minus taxes. Are you kidding me? You're all thieves. You're all disgusting. Yeah, stop. Shut the government down. Don't pay those clowns. The clowns that have shut it down, was it 535 of them between Senate and House and President? But just stop paying them. Not we're going to furlough you and give you all your money back when we decide to get a deal together. No, you'll get a deal a lot faster if these clowns aren't getting paid. Tim Walz has been reflecting on his role in Kamala Harris losing the election so handily to President Trump. We got some guesses here, as I'm sure you do. Let's see, Tampon Tim, tampons in the boys' room. Worshipping the Chinese Communist Party because you went there so many times, 30 times, got married in China, flailing your arms around on stage as if they're an independent of your body. Well, you'll be surprised to hear that Tampon Tim, well, he's got a different theory.
As far as the book and things like that go, I think she has every right to be critical. I do think I let her down on a couple things. And I warned them, my Minnesota nice thing is, if somebody's being nice to me, I'll be nice to them. You're a teacher in me, and this is nervous tick or habit that we have when you're a teacher. When someone else is speaking next to you, you instinctively nod and listen and try and listen. And that was viewed as, and the vice president took it that I was agreeing on some of the things that were a personal attack on her, and it wasn't that at all. Because when we're teachers or in any other one, I'm like, that's really interesting. It's dumb as hell, but it's very interesting. And,
It's incredible that there are people that still show up to hear what that man has to say. I mean, how ridiculous is everything that comes out of his mouth? And Kamala Harris, can you imagine Kamala Harris and Tampon Tim as president and vice president? We've dodged serious bullets here. Time to check in on our favorite congressional anti-American racists, see what they're up to, shall we? What's Ilhan Omar doing?
And so the idea that this is a white nation that needs to be preserved is a fascinatingly disgusting view, because this country is one for the many.
Sorry to have to do this. We have Ilhan Omar, we got Jasmine Crockett, we've had to run the gamut, Tampon Tim, we've run the gamut of liberal lunatics. Have to do it. I got to watch it just before I bring it to you. Just, some people say, why do you do it? Why you do that for us? Because we want to see how lunatics they are, what nut jobs they are, just to keep ourselves sane. Say, like, no, we're not missing something. They're nuts. They got smoked in the last election. They're not going to win again unless they change their tune. They want to change their tune. How is someone like that even allowed into the country, Ilhan Omar, let alone be allowed to hold a high government position? And speaking of racism and division, Don Lemon is out in full force trying to insist upon the fact that the real and only threat to America is white men. Here's the male Joy Reid calling out Megyn Kelly to make his point.
That's why I say Megyn Kelly and Glenn Greenwald, they don't want to talk about political violence, because if they did, they would have to face the truth of much of what we talked about today. The greatest threat of political violence in America today is white men radicalized to the right. That is fact. But they never want to have that conversation. Instead, they change the subject. They redirect. They take a question about insurrections, mass shootings, and terrorism, and they turn it into a debate about what? About crime overall. Because you have to deflect it somewhere. I mean, you got to keep your base. You got to fire them up. You can't tell them the truth. Which is, so indicative of what happens with MAGA right now. And why? So that they can recycle the same old racist talking points that black men are the real problem.
Are they tired of playing the race card? It didn't work. It hasn't worked. You've used the race card so often, so worn out, no one even hears it anymore. It's not even a dog whistle anymore, Donnie. But yet another example of why Jimmy Kimmel should stay out of politics and stick to being very not funny about other topics. He proves he's absolutely zero idea of why it's important for our military to have high standards, something that the network that employs him clearly doesn't have.
Donald Trump actually said our new military will bring back new focus on fitness. I love the idea that Trump is lecturing these guys on fitness. I mean, if that isn't the fondue pot calling the kettle fat, I don't know what is. Listen up, generals. I want to make something very clear. The Pillsbury Dough president wants you to do Pilates. The only push-ups Donald Trump does are from the side of an ice cream truck. If you get so fat you start breaking escalators, you are unfit to serve in the military.
I absolutely love political humor. It's awesome, but that's not even funny. Who are these writers? And by the way, they spend, what do they say, $30 million a year putting that show together? These writers are well paid. Be funny. Johnny Carson was funny. Jay Leno was funny. Those guys it wasn't just poking Trump for thinking that he's going to get mad because you call him chubby. You're idiots. It's not even funny. When there were rumors this summer that maybe, just maybe, The View had seen its last days on the air, I was a mix of happy and sad. Happy because these people and their opinions are the bane of American existence, but sad because we wouldn't have this type of nonsense to point out and ridicule, like Sonny Hostin accusing Christians of being hypocrites.
Because some people really deserve
I am against the death penalty in all cases.
Well, I think
in all cases, and that's why I find there is a hypocrisy with certain Christians who are pro-life, but they will pull that electric chair switch. They are pro-life, but they have their AR-15s in their cabinet. They are pro-life, but they don't mind immigrant families being torn from each other. They are pro-life, but they don't care about little children's subsidies being taken away from them. That is not pro-life.
I was just going to say, I'm Protestant, but my faith.
Guns don't shoot themselves, Sonny. They just don't. Hey, Ben, do you have... a lot of people are talking about a couple of sound bites we rolled yesterday where Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, and Barack Obama, if they were in today's political world, they would be considered MAGA. Roll one of them. Which one you got first?
We got Hillary Clinton first.
Hill Shady.
As to illegal aliens, we agree with you that we do not think the comprehensive health care benefits should be extended to those who are undocumented workers and illegal aliens. We do not want to do anything to encourage more illegal immigration into this country. We know now that too many people come in for medical care as it is. We certainly don't want them having the same benefits that American citizens are entitled to have.
MAGA, straight up. Okay, you got her hubby, her beloved hubby.
I do have her husband. Here you are.
But in every place in this country are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country. The jobs they hold might otherwise be held by citizens or legal immigrants. The public service they use impose burdens on our taxpayers. That's why our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more, by hiring a record number of new border guards, by deporting twice as many criminal aliens as ever before.
You see those folks sleeping? But again, that would be MAGA. That would be. All right, how about you got Barack Hussein Obama?
I do have Barack Obama.
I think we should have strong border security. It doesn't make sense for us to allow hundreds of thousands of people coming through our borders without us knowing who they are, oftentimes in very hazardous situations and unmonitored situations that could do us long-term damage.
Well, holy smokes, Barack Obama was America first before Steve Bannon was America first. Is that possible? I'm just kidding. But how about that? All three of them would certainly be right of center, far right of center in today's political world. And that wasn't that long ago, folks. We'll be back 2.5 minutes.